I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to be here tonight. For one thing, the book is done. It's out of the way. But also, I have come with Red so many times here and enjoyed every single one of the things that's been going on. And it just gives me the greatest joy to see you all here tonight. Now then, what about this book? Why did I write it? Well, for one thing, and the most important thing, because nobody else did. That's true. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was very interested in Welsh music and looking for a book that would tell me about Welsh music from the beginning. And there wasn't one, honestly. There were books that had bits. There were books that told you about the 15th century or the 19th century, but there was nothing that took the whole trail of Welsh music, and I said, I'm going to do it. I thought I was going to do it with Red, but he's a very busy man. However, we do live in the same house, and although I took it on myself to write the book, and my study is upstairs, I'm a lot thinner than I used to be because I was up and down those stairs saying to Red, now, what do you think of this? Is this right? Should I change it? He has been the one who said, that's the way to do it, or no, indeed. And I cannot thank him enough. He knows so much. Also, I want to thank the press because they have been great. I wrote to them about, 10 years ago, maybe more, to say I was interested in doing something of this style. And if I did, and if it was any good, would the press publish it? And back came the answer, if it's good enough, yes. So I am terribly pleased tonight that the book has come out. I've seen it. All hail to the press. I think they've done a wonderful job. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my struggles in getting it done. The first time I recall hearing the word Wales was when I went to see a film called How Green Was My Valley, and I went to see that film in Pontiac, Michigan, not here. I loved the film, especially because it made me cry, and I thought that all of Wales was like the film. Sure, it must be like that. Some years later, when I went to college in Michigan, I discovered that the most interesting of my professors was a Welshman, whose name was Gomer Llewellyn Jones. At the time, I was very interested in folk songs and had a 15-minute program on the university network once a week, singing songs of different countries around the world. Someone suggested that I do a program of Welsh songs, and I asked Professor Jones if he could help. He translated some Welsh folk songs into English for me, and I sang them on the radio program and in occasional recitals. And mind you, this was back in the 1940s when this kind of thing was very, very new and exciting. Well, at the end of that year, I won a musical fellowship to the Juilliard Graduate School in New York, which meant leaving Michigan and leaving Michigan State University and so on. But as I was leaving, Gomer said, by the way, I have Welsh friends in New York. I'm sure they would be glad to see you. Those words were responsible for starting a friendship that has remained to the present day. The family of the Reverend Kenalwyn Pugh father, mother, and 3 daughters. And that family became my New York substitute for my family back in Michigan. Sunday afternoon, I would get on the subway, go up and have tea with them before going with them to the Welsh church. I didn't understand the words of the service at all, but I loved the atmosphere and the singing. And after it was over, we all went back to their apartment and had supper, which they called te bach. When I sang some of the songs Gomer Jones had taught me in English, they insisted that Welsh songs should be sung in Welsh, and they taught me how. After I graduated from Juilliard, I knew that I wanted to sing in opera, but there were very few openings in America, especially for singers with little or no experience. The Reverend Kinolwyn Pugh had the answer. "Go to Britain," he said. Now, this was 1945, 47. Things are just starting up there now that the war is over, and you'll have a good chance to get operatic work. Well, he was right. I went to Britain with an introduction to Myfanwy Howell, a Welsh friend of the Pughs. She was on her way to Bangor in North Wales, where she was producing a radio program from time to time, and she invited me to sing on it. So up I went to Wales. The star of that program was a young university graduate named Meredith Evans. The rest is history. Over a period of some years, I have been saddened to realize that there was no real history of Welsh traditional music. There have been excellent articles in music magazines and various papers, but what was needed was a comprehensive book to bring all this information together in one volume. Added to that is the fact that much valuable material is available in Welsh only. And it is important that non-Welsh speaking musicologists have access to Welsh research material. At this point, I would particularly like to thank Ned Thomas, who, when head of the University of Wales Press, supported the idea of such a volume. There is a wealth of research material available in English on the traditional music of England, Ireland, and Scotland, and it is time that the music of Wales takes its place among them. Wait a minute, I gotta find where we are. So here we are, sitting here together, thinking about what Welsh folk songs are available, who sings them, what good they are, what they tell us about Wales. All of that is the sort of thing that I was, as an American without any Welsh ancestors at all, I was terribly interested in, because I loved the songs. It was perfectly clear to me, even from the songs in Songs of Wales, which I have to say are not what I would call true Welsh folk songs, but even with the Songs of Wales, there was a distinct flavor that was not English. It wasn't Welsh. It certainly wasn't Irish. It wasn't not English. It wasn't Scotch. It certainly wasn't Irish. So it was Welsh. And that is what I have hoped, that the books that I have written, and certainly that Mered has written, I hope that that is what comes across. The special quality that belongs to the Welsh music and nowhere else in the world.